Hello, hello, hello. So in today's episode, we're going to have a chat about Wintermute. So Wintermute essentially is probably one of the largest market makers within crypto, and also probably one of the leaders in the whole financial space. And what they essentially do is really just provide liquidity to the market in terms of like bids and offers, and then to obviously ensure that there's suitable price action and enough liquidity for people to be able to buy and sell. So if you take this as their website, and the reason why I bring this up is because here it is. So market makings provide liquidity on the capital markets to make sure there's enough volume at a reasonable price for investors to buy and sell. So the reason I bring it up is that of late, the last few weeks, there's been a lot of news just in terms of the price action on a lot of these meme coins or low market caps, which Wintermute have been holding essentially. And a prime example is what we saw a few days ago, where there were literally at least 6 or 7 meme coins that absolutely just collapsed in price, purely because Wintermute were essentially dumping, right, and selling. So we'll go into and take a look to understand what's really going on here. It seems also that a lot of Wintermute is here. They've got their venture arm, they've got DeFi, liquidity. So what tends to happen is that a lot of these centralized exchanges, they have relationships with these market makers. And the market makers, as you mentioned, really aim to provide liquidity to the market. But what we've also been seeing of late is that it seems a lot of these tier 1, tier 2 centralized exchanges are ultimately, when they're onboarding or listing or when they're going through negotiation with a potential project to list, they also then request a certain amount for market making that can really help with the price. And what we're seeing is just some absolutely just crazy movement that's been taking place within crypto. Also, there's been not just not Wintermute, but there are obviously other market makers that we've seen where they have been in trouble. Let's just find out where they've been in trouble because the market makers have essentially been dumping the price. So we will just pull this up so you can understand what the situation here is. So there was one here which was Binance Offboard's market maker that it said made $38 million in profit on a Move listing, right? So that was a listing that happened, and what they essentially did is they received tokens allocation of Move. When the price listed, they immediately just dumped the price. So it had a massive price action, a selling fashion in the price. And these are the type of things that's not really nice for the market. So obviously what they did is, here it says one-sided market making activity is widely considered illicit and illegal, and Binance reiterated that strict rules are in place for defaulters. The entity was off-boarded. The market maker, which wasn't identified, made 38 million, but we found out that it was actually a whisper. I'll pull up the details shortly. 38 million profit when the Move tokens were first off-boarded. So let's just pull this up. Move market maker. So this is having a huge issue in the price. We also had here, if I just pull this up as well for you, under Binance on March the 10th, they basically banned the mysterious market maker for GPS, and Shell, right? So this is another few tokens. The trading platform has banned them from continued operations on the exchange. So we're seeing some egregious actions that's taken place by these market makers, extracting a huge amount from the market to the detriment of investors. And this isn't good, right? Number one, it's already very difficult to be able to trade in the market as it is. But then when you're having, market makers against you in this way, this becomes impossible, right? To actually make money. And talking about extracting money from the market, we actually then had a screenshot of interest from Wintermute, which the Wintermute founder, the CEO of Wintermute Binance's Market Maker, he basically mentioned in a chat that furthermore, to make things clear, we are not a charity or foundation, very much from it, far from it. Wintermute, like any other prop trading firm, is in business of making money by trading. More specifically, our core business is trading digital assets. As such, we are very much interested, not just extracting as much as possible. Let's go. We are very much interested, not just in extracting as much as possible from various opportunities in the market, but also in the space continuing evolving and growing. So they're very clear and complicit here in what they're really there for, and essentially where's the value coming from. It seems the modus operandi is to extract as much out of the market as possible. If we then pull up and we talk about where they are regarding the returns and investments, they've made a considerable amount of money in the space. Crypto market maker Wintermute sees a record $2.24 billion trading volume. Okay, so this was in Jan, so this release. So the company reports 313% growth in OTC trading. It predicts 2025 will see major institutional developments, including meme coins, ETF, and government Bitcoin reserves. So clearly their business mandate or their strategy is going well. The addressable market is increasing, right? Because there's massive demand for crypto. You're seeing huge influx of institutional investors, right? Because of the openness, right, of what we're seeing, or the positivity from the administration in the US, very dovish regarding crypto, investing heavily in crypto, opening up to all avenues. So we're seeing what's taking place here. So 2.24 billion weekly high. Previous year's weekly high was $2 billion. They're saying that data reveals a significant transformation in trading patterns, with 250% increase in total spot trades and 64% rise in unique spot asset pairs traded, right? So they're giving a breakdown of where they see it, where the projections are. So that gives you a heads up that you need to be aware of what's happening. So one thing to really take into consideration when you see these situations that's happening in the market is obviously on-chain data, right? So Wintermute have they have their wallets, and you can be able to track their wallets via certain platforms to track on-chain. So this one, you can see portfolio, you can see holdings by chain. So let's just pull up Solana, for example. So it gives you a breakdown, it gives you a portfolio archive. So it shows you a full breakdown of the net change, the holdings. You can see the inflows, the outflows. So this will basically help you in terms of obviously investing, trading, just to monitor to see what's happening. Because if they are dumping tokens of this magnitude like this, obviously this coincided with Binance mentioning that they were changing the leverage on perps, right? But you do it automatically, and clearly it's going to have an impact on the price, right? So you need to really take into consideration and understand what's the value proposition of Wintermute. Understand what their value is, what they want to achieve, which clearly it is. The founder, if we take a look and understanding some more background here. So Wintermute was founded, here it says about the company, in 2008 by Matthew DeVost. Operates a crypto-based algorithmic market maker for digital assets. Wintermute has raised 56 million to date from the likes of Lightspeed Ventures, Blockchain, Coinvestors, First Digital Labs. So you also need to understand, look at the prominent VCs that are investing in these entities. So it clearly shows you that, you know, are they illicit? Are they part of this? They clearly just see that this is a business. It's a way to make money, right? So they have done a Series C round already. So it gives you a breakdown of the series, the rounds that they're doing. And then so founding members, and then the CEO, the current CEO. So if you pull up company house data, it seems that they've got a correspondence address in the UK. I'm sure they have other addresses, but Wintermute Trading, if you go down here, got their address, private limited company, then people, we want to just see more. So they have, so this is the current CEO of Wintermute. And then you have other directors, right? If you scroll down, you see all the directors here. So let's just see filing history. So they filed Jan 2000, registered office change. Okay, so this is just a change in office. Then also directors change, company's house. So company accounts, this is for the year 2022 to 23. Or 23 to 24, I think. So we're just pulling up the data to see what comes up. So this is the type of research that one should do just to understand what's really going on. It's taking quite a while, don't know why. So this is Wintermute. They are not the only market makers in the space, but they're the most prominent ones. So you can clearly see what's happening. It's taken quite a while to load. So I'm going to add all this information in the description. So just as a heads up, make sure you have you can track to see what's happening on chain. Wintermute are here to stay, irrespective of the fallout on CT, that people are upset, people are losing money, people are getting liquidated. They are not going anywhere, right? So we need to understand as participants within the space. I'm just giving you a heads up of what's happening, and then you can be able to make your decisions thereafter. If you like this type of information, please like, please subscribe. I'm coming back to you with more of this type. And if you have any questions, just add anything in the comments. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.